All right, so I am still here in Japan. I have a couple more days left, but as I record this earlier tonight, as I round out the last of the big Godzilla things I needed to see while I was out here. You might have seen our last video where I covered Godzilla the art, took that down, and today was the premiere of the brand new Godzilla image mapping short film at the Shinjuku Government Metropolitan Building. If you've seen videos of the first one, and I posted a couple of clips as I went a couple weeks back when I was still out here in Tokyo before I moved on south. It's basically the big government building where Godzilla fought Mecha King Ghidorah. So just about every night they have this system they call image mapping, which is essentially just a very fancy way of saying projection. But it's a very cool projection. It's a very 3D, slightly realistic style of projecting onto large areas, a big canvas, if you will. And the Metropolitan Building is a huge building. It's about 35-40 stories tall. It's massive. So if you are in Tokyo, especially during the weekends, you can come to this place. It's absolutely free. And you park yourself in front of this little Miranda area that they have, and you look up at the building as the sun goes down and watch Godzilla destroy the government building. So that has been running for the last year or so. The first one debuted late November last year, and I'm lucky enough to be in town for the debut of their second short film commemorating the 70th anniversary of Godzilla, and this one is called Tokyo Godzillas. Now, if you've seen the original one, which is Godzilla Attack Shinjuku, it's essentially the Heisei Godzilla, and he just bursts out of the building, takes on Super X2 in a very large fight. And it's pretty cool because they use a suit. The Godzilla fights Super X, Atomic Blast, they have the sounds and everything. So it's not just like you're just seeing this thing, it's an immersive experience that you get in this public setting with a lot of people. There are clips of it online. Toho does tend to yank the full video down. I did post my copy of it on our Facebook page. It is still up if you want to watch the whole thing. I can't put it on YouTube because I know for a fact it will be taken down. So that is my warning on this one, because I cannot show you the entire video of the new one tonight. I'm going to put some clips in there. You're not going to hear the original audio. I'm just fair warning you because I don't want any copyright strikes on this channel. We're fairly copyright strike free as it is right now. So what is Godzilla, or Tokyo Godzilla? So Tokyo Godzilla is the second iteration of this image mapping thing. So this new one, as I said, commemorates the 70th anniversary of Godzilla. And unlike the last one where Godzilla was fighting Super X, this is more or less a roll call of Godzillas. So it's about 5 minutes long. It's part of a larger show. So if you come out to Shinjuku to watch this, two things you need to know. One is that now that there's two of them, they do play both. So you need to check the website, which I'll have linked in the notes. But it is Saturday and Sunday only. So if you're out here during the week, you're not going to be able to see it. You can see the other shows, which are very cool. I would still recommend seeing it. But if you're out here on Saturday and Sunday, the show starts at 5:30 because it gets dark here very early. And what I found out is that they toggle back and forth. So I was there for the premiere of the brand new one, and unbeknownst to me, they actually made a big deal out of it. So I showed up a little early to find a spot. As I sat down, there was a bunch of card railings and everything set up, and to my surprise, an announcement was made that, hey, Godzilla's going to be here to help usher in this brand new short film for everyone to see. And lo and behold, 5 minutes before this thing was set to start, out marches Godzilla. So he came out, did a whole countdown, and the short film started. So you get a little pre-roll, and then essentially what you're seeing is just a lot of cool short shots of various Godzillas throughout the year. So it starts with the original Godzilla, which they did use the 54 suit that they have used in, I believe, the Boss commercial and a couple of other things. Looks amazing. It gives you like a very 3D aesthetic when you are watching it. Then it moves on into Burning Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Destroyer, and you briefly see him fight Super X3. There's a big beam battle. It's very cool. Then transitions into this purple light, and these rays just shoot up in the air, and of course it's Shin Godzilla. So Shin Godzilla pops up, and every time the new Godzillas pop up, you get a little title card, what movie it's from, and which Godzilla it is. So Shin Godzilla essentially just roars. That's what all these Godzillas do. They essentially roar and then fire their atomic breath, or whatever version of the atomic breath they have. Shin Godzilla did both. So you got the spikes, and then you got the mouth and the tail breath going all over the place, which then segues into the latest Godzilla, which is -1. Now, since Shin and -1 are CG creations, they were a little more lively than the two suits that they used previous two Godzillas that showed up. So -1 comes out, looks like a completely new animation. Looks like they didn't reuse a lot. It's clearly the same model, so they clearly had the model ready to go and animated some new sequences for this movie and this short film in general. So he looks fantastic, and you get that beautiful poster shot of his tail like kind of curving out as he fires off his beam, and then they cut to the tail ramping up as they do in the movie, pushes in and pulls out. You see all the other Godzillas, and there's two extra ones that I didn't notice at first, but they actually added I believe the Tokyo SOS Godzilla, because they have that suit laying around, and the Final Wars Godzilla. And they all line up with little chibi Godzilla in the corner and let loose all their atomic breath attacks at the same time. It is awesome. It's amazing to see. And not only that, but they were size appropriate. So this is the thing, when you're watching this thing, it's like the only way you'll ever truly get to experience like if Godzilla was real, because they kind of go with some height accuracy on this stuff. So when the original Godzilla came out, he was clearly much shorter than the other versions that take up a lot more space on the canvas of the building that they use. So the building has these two spires on each side that kind of curve out. So around like the 36th floor, that's where it stops, but there's two additional floors on each side that go up. So they use the vast majority of the facade of the building to project this thing onto. So you do get a feeling of like, man, if he was real, this is what it's going to look like. So after the big to-do of Godzilla, of all the Godzilla's blasting the breath, the 70th anniversary logo pops up, and you're like, oh, that's cool, it's done. No, it's not done yet, because then the logo explodes, and out comes -1 marching towards you, and it gets bigger, and then he just roars in triumph. And like I said, it's a very short little film. It's about 5 minutes long, because it's part of a package that same with the original one, the Godzilla attacks Shinjuku. Each show runs about 15 minutes long. So once the Godzilla one ends, it goes into this very artistic looking 3D thing. It reminds me of a very fancy screensaver. It is beautiful though. It's absolutely stunning and gorgeous, and they play some nice kind of like lo-fi electronic music over it. And then the final one is this insane Pac-Man film. So they show Pac-Man through the years, and it starts with Pac-Man, like literally it's the OG Pac-Man, as you know, eating the dots, going across, like the whole building is lit up, and then it gets wilder and wilder as it goes on until it just turns into this, it looks like the ending of Speed Racer, if you will, with just so much visual stimuli coming at you. So this thing is awesome. After the show was done, Godzilla came back out. The press were there, get some pictures, and then Godzilla went around to his adoring fans to do a little, glad handing, little meet and greet. It was out there for all about 10 minutes. So as you can see from the video and some of the pictures I have here, like it was a fun experience. When I got there was hardly anybody there. By the time the show started, the place was packed. It does run at least 3 times a night. Like I said, you need to check the schedule. So tonight it started at 5:30, and it was 6:30, I think 7:30, and then 9:30. Because there's an 8 o'clock show that I found out the hard way the first time I came here, where there's no Godzilla whatsoever. So do check the times, because if you show up thinking you're going to watch one, you might see the other. But if you want to see both, they do give you the opportunity now if you just hang up, because by the time the films end, there's only 15 minutes till the next one starts, and you can catch it. You can catch the other film, or if you missed it coming in, just hang out for a minute and you can check it out. So that is the brand new Godzilla image mapping experience, Tokyo Godzillas. So that was a nice little bow tie to the end of this trip. And that was officially the last Godzilla thing I really needed to do while I was out here. This trip has been a blast. Like I said, in my other videos, I have a lot of video that I have shot and a ton of pictures. So I have more videos coming once I get back to the States. I thought I had a little more time to do stuff while I was out here. The stuff I've been able to get out, that's been a miracle. So if you want to see any more of the stuff that I have coming out, like and subscribe, or don't. I'm not your dad, can't tell you what to do. So on that note, that will wrap up this little video. Remember, if you like what you see, we do have a show. It's called the Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. You can find us at thekaijukingdompodcast.com. And if you don't like to download, you can always stream us on all of your favorite podcast streamers, including Apple, Spotify, or wherever else you might find better podcasts. We're also on social media. If you haven't been following us on there, you've been missing out on all of our adventures we've been having out here, including Godzilla Day, toy hunting at the various Mandarakes, our excursions in Osaka, the Godzilla zip line, and so much more. There's so much that I have not posted on here on our YouTube channel yet, but a lot of it is up on our social media. So follow us there: X, Instagram, Facebook. And if you want to comment, talk to us, want some tips, if you're coming into town and you want to see some of the stuff that we have seen, just reach out to us, because that is what we want to do. We want to help kaiju fans maximize their trip out here in this wonderful country of Japan. So that will wrap it up for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.